her family and her brand new house. Dildal Ari from Tangobago, his family, their kacha house, their pakka house. Lalo Mal from Nara, his kacha house, him and his two daughters in his new house. Muhammad Khan from Jacobabad, him and his family, how they used to live, they live today.
घर का खर्चा, बच्चों का, अपना सारा कुछ सही चलता था। बारिश के बाद तो वो बिल्कुल खत्म हो गया। हमें इधर ही रहते थे, हमारे कच्चे घर होते थे, बारिश में वो सारे गिर गए। जब बारिश आया था तो हर तरफ तबाही तबाही थी। फिर जो बीमार हुआ, फाके में बैठे, बेशियाँ मर गई, लोग जख्मी हो गए। ये तो फिर अच्छा हुआ कि सिंध गवर्नमेंट ने हमारा सपोर्ट किया है। ये व्यापार के और ये खेती बाड़ी के अलावा क्योंकि हमारा कोई रोजगार तो है नहीं। अब हमें ये था कि अभी बच्चों का करें, घर का करें या किसी कारोबार का करें, लेकिन बड़ी मुश्किल हालात में वक्त गुजरी है। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ सिंध की तरफ से जो टीम आई थी वो आगे घर घर पे सर्वे कर रहे थे। पहले घर हमारे कच्चे थे, अभी ये माशाल्लाह पक्का घर बन गया, तो हमारा भी शौक है कि घर को संवार दें। ये पसंद है हमें, जब हम बोलते कि दरख्त लगाएं तो ये जो बड़े होते हैं तो इसके खुद भी करते हैं और मवेशी वगैरह भी। और गाँव वालों को भी कहता हूँ कि हर घर के सामने ये होनी चाहिए, तो हम लगा देते हैं इसलिए। घर माशाल्लाह भी हमारा बड़ा फर्स्ट क्लास बन गया। यही है कि हमारे बच्चों को मुस्तकिल बन जाए, यही उम्मीद है इंशाअल्लाह।
Education system, housing infrastructure, regular infrastructure obviously devastated. Again, on the topic of agriculture, I want to look at it specifically in light of the 2022 floods. The major source of income for the people of our province was drastically affected. As an emergency measure at the time, the Sindh government decided to support our farmers by providing them wheat seeds. On an emergency basis, we reached out to 215,000 people in our province at the time, provided them this support, and as a result of this intervention, the following year we had the highest ever 1.5 million tons in the province of Sindh. But we built on that experience. We used that data, and we started the Benazir Hari card, or the Benazir Farmer card, with the thought that in the future, when we face a natural disaster, we want a transparent mechanism where we can get financial support directly into the hands of the farmers. These 200,000 people that we'd given the wheat seed became the first people to subsequently join our Benazir Hari card. And the concept behind this initiative was not only support in times of emergencies, but the government of Sindh, and even the federal government, but they're not associated with this yet, provides a lot of support to our farming communities. But it's not targeted, it's not transparent, and that's the direction that we'd like to move in the future. So this Benazir Hari card was a result of the 2022 floods. And recently, because we had this infrastructure in place, when last year Pakistan faced floods, and we've had an even more expansive intervention from the government of Sindh through the Benazir Hari card, but also through CNIC and other identification mechanisms for small farmers of up to from 1 to 25 acres. We provided cash support for for them to buy DAP and urea. Targeted, transparent support to those at the bottom of the pyramid who need it most, while simultaneously supporting Sindh's agriculture economy. We have agricultural modernization mechanisms in place where we support our farmers with laser leveling and other such facilities. And going forward, we want to take this to, and going forward, we want to take that to the next level. We're going to encourage both collective farming and public-private partnership in the agriculture sector in the province of Sindh. Collective farming, because 90% of land holdings in Sindh are with the small farmer. And what we want to do is create incentives from the provincial government for these small farmers to form collectives. And when they form collectives, they'll obviously collectively have more arable land, but it also gives them collective bargaining power. And they could then benefit from some of the benefits that bigger, richer, large landowning families or businesses enjoy when it comes to procurement and other things. We want to support these collectives through the Sindh government with modernization, with modern machinery, with laser leveling, with scientific knowledge, with research, and our support, our interventions, our subsidies will be targeted to these small farmers. Then, for public-private partnership, we want to encourage the private sector to come and invest in large-scale farming in the province of Sindh in two ways. One, the Sindh government wants to be a bridge between these collectives and big business, whether it's within Pakistan or outside in Pakistan, where we create a partnership with these collectives in the business community, and they come in with their investment and partner with small farmers and create collective corporate farming in the PPP mode. Separately, the government of Sindh also has a lot of arable land that's not used, whether it's in forest area, whether it's in agriculture department, whether it's irrigation department. We also want to partner with the private sector in those cases and use public-private partnership to bring in large-scale, high value-added farming to take our Sindh agriculture to the next level. No agriculture without irrigation, and our irrigation system in Pakistan is the largest in the world. And within Pakistan, the largest irrigation system within Pakistan is run in the province of Sindh. On top of that, our government has had a whole host of interventions, because as you're aware, either we face these cataclysmic floods, or most of the time we're facing drought and water scarcity, and that problem is continuing to increase. So we've set up more than 200 small dams across the province for rainwater storage and agriculture support. More impressive than that, we've managed to line 4,110 kilometers of Sindh's irrigation network in our canal system, which results in water preservation and it helps us address both climate change and water scarcity. As far as Sindh's infrastructure is concerned, our irrigation system, we get a lot of criticism on our communication infrastructure. So I want to use this opportunity to clarify that there are two forms of this infrastructure in our province. The majority of national highways are run by the federal government and the communications department. And that has and does, both from us and from others, receive a lot of criticisms, and we're really appreciative of the current government, the Prime Minister, for their commitment that the Sakhar onwards portion of our national motorway will be built. But that doesn't mean that the Sindh government doesn't build roads, it's just we can't build the federal government roads. 57,000 kilometers of road networks in Sindh, of which 24,000 kilometers are either brand new or rehabilitated. I've included a whole host of pictures I'm just going to point out to you, which is our latest initiative, Bhutto in Karachi, which is a public-private partnership model, and we have a lot of our partners with us here today that's working on our communication infrastructure, roads, bridges. Since 1947 until 2008, there were 5 bridges built on the River Indus. And from 2008 up until today, we've managed to build 4 new bridges on the River Indus. This includes the largest bridge on the River Indus, which is our Chirk Mulakatiyar Bridge in public-private partnership. And, it's not here, but we're constructing our 5th bridge on the River Indus, which is our Kankot Gotki Bridge that is still under construction and hopefully be finished before 2028. What's infrastructure without transport? Well, in 2008, when the Pakistan People's Party government took over, the Sindh government had no public transport, no integrated public transport. And now, we have more than 200,000 passengers that commute daily in the integrated mass transit system. We were the first province to introduce electric vehicle buses in Pakistan. We were the first province to introduce the pink bus service in Pakistan, which is exclusively for women passengers with women drivers to provide a safe environment for women. And we also want to particularly encourage female mobility. So it's not just our pink bus service. The Transport Minister who introduced this for us today has also started a pink scooty service. And we'll continue. Still got a long way to go as far as public transport is concerned, and we continue to expanding this infrastructure, hopefully, in the time to come. Solid waste management, again, an area of criticism, and naturally, as the most populated city, we have the most waste in the country. But yet again, before the Pakistan People's Party government, there was no solid waste management system in the province of Sindh. We've managed to set up the Sindh solid waste management system that started in the city of Karachi and its 10 districts, and then expanded to Hyderabad, Mirpur Khas, Sakhar, Shahid Benazirabad, and now even my constituency of has its own solid waste management facility. Our solid waste management board and their contractors collect over 14,500 tons of waste per day, and there's still a lot more to do. Along with agriculture, another area where we've had the most progressive intervention of all provinces is again in the Labour Department in Sindh. We have this social security support from the federal government, from the provincial government. There's a devolution debate around that already applied to our public sector workers. What we've done in the province of Sindh is introduce the Benazir Mazdoor card, which is the labor card, and opened up our social security net to the private sector and to the self-employed, who can now pay in themselves and our Benazir Mazdoor card program and receive all the support that public sector workers receive in sort of times of death, times of marriage, healthcare emergencies, and this is a process that we hope to continue to encourage and expand. We're also proud of the fact that we're the only province to raise minimum wage 6 times in a row, and we've cut child labor by 50% in the province of Sindh. So when we took over the official statistics, it was that we were at 20.6%. We've managed to bring it down to 10.3%. Labor rights legislation right now. Amongst the labor rights legislation, 16 laws, 18 rules, etc. One additional thing I want to mention is that we not only acknowledge agricultural workers as part of the workforce, we were the first to pass the Female Agricultural Workers Act back in the last provincial government, and the first ones to acknowledge women's contribution, which is the largest in our agriculture sector. Energy is a big area for the province of Sindh. We were the first to add megawatts to the national grid, first through renewable energy, wind energy. We have a 50,000 megawatt wind energy corridor. Acting President Yusuf Raza Gilani, when he was the Prime Minister of the Pakistan, was the first to inaugurate our wind energy project in the province of Sindh. And so far, we have 1,845 megawatts of wind power that we add, and 150 megawatts of solar power. We have another 1,875 megawatts of wind power in the pipeline, and another 1,150 megawatts of solar power in the pipeline. We're really leaning in to green energy and alternative energy within our province, particularly because the energy infrastructure is so unreliable, it's so expensive. There are areas in the province of Sindh that still face 16 to 18 hours load shedding, so we're trying to in every way we can, less reliance on traditional energy infrastructure and a move towards solar energy. We've had a big push for the solarization of public buildings. In partnership with the World Bank, we've also been targeting Benazir income support beneficiaries to provide them with solar systems. So far, we've distributed 200,000, and we're looking going forward to distribute 275,000 more to the families of the most needy. We also intend to target consumers of less than 100 units of electricity, and we want to provide them with solar facilities. In addition to that, we have 3 public-private partnership solar infrastructure projects in the works right now, through which we want to provide Karachi with an additional 400 megawatts of solar power at low cost. I'm going to go on to talk about Tharkol, which is another big initiative as far as the Energy Department is concerned. But even within the context of Tharkol, going forward, we want to look into using Tharkol for the development of fertilizer. So our country's over-reliance on gas for fertilizer can hopefully be addressed through this. Where's my energy gone? I definitely have another energy thing to talk to you about. It comes there. We also have Tharkol, which I'll talk to you about later, but in between we're talking about progressive legislation and how we Sindh leads the way in progressive legislation. There's a whole list. I just wanted to run through a few of our, we were the first and proud to be the first to pass the Sindh Child Marriage Restraint Act, banning child marriage in the province of Sindh and raising the age to 18 in 2013. The Sindh Prohibition of Employment of Child Labor Act, I already mentioned the results of that. Our Domestic Violence Protection Act in 2013, our Sindh Hindu Marriages Amendment Act in 2018, and the Sindh Commission for the Status of Women. 2 of not only our most sort of 2 sectors that we're very much proud of, our special economic zones and our public-private partnerships, but also the two areas with the biggest potential to unlock, the most potential for both foreign and domestic partners to join with the Sindh government and expand.
Was by the government of Sindh. Our private partners have collectively invested nearly $2.076 billion US dollars, while $780 million US dollars invested by government of Sindh. Sindh PPP institutional strength has not gone unnoticed. Each project reflects commitment, partnerships built on trust, delivering lasting impact for Sindh. Progress, delivering.
So obviously you can't conduct any of these projects without your own revenue generation, which requires economic activity in the form of our SEZs and the PPPs that we talk about, and revenue generation through our Sindh Revenue Board. Our special economic zone in the province of Sindh, we've got Khairpur Special Economic Zone, we've got Larkana Special Economic Zone, Dhabaji Special Economic Zone, and Marble City Special Economic Zone. The first public, Dhabaji was the first, and there are also public-private partnership special economic zones, where not only from at the provincial level, but also the federal level, for the time being, we enjoy special incentives for business and industries to set up. At the feasibility stage, we have our Sakha Industrial Zone, our Hyderabad Industrial Zone, and our Aquaculture Park. Our special economic zones have received international recognition. This is from the Financial Times. They had a magazine that did the FDI intelligence report for Global Free Zones of the Year 2025. And the best industrial zone, both globally and regionally, were highlighted, chosen, and then they had like a runner-up everywhere. So as you can see, the global industrial zone of the year winner was ZPE zone, and the highly commended, or the runner-up global economic zone, is Jebel Ali Free Zone. For the Middle East, the winner is Jebel Ali Free Zone, etc. For the Asia-Pacific region, the winner of the FDI Global Free Zone of the year 2025 was the Freeport area in Bhutan. But the runner-up, or the highly commended special economic zone, Khairpur Special Economic Zone. And these are our Khairpur Economic Zone, which is probably nearly saturated now, but our Larkana Industrial Zone has infrastructure space, our Dhabaji Economic Zone, which is right next to Karachi, our first public-private partnership economic zone, still needs more infrastructure, has a lot of space, and similarly our Marble City that's coming up, and the rest that are in our feasibility stages, provide the perfect environment for the business community across the country, for the international community, and the business community internationally to come invest, enjoy tax and other benefits from both the provincial and federal government, and do so in economic zones with international recognition. Similarly, Sindh experience in public-private partnership. This now is something that was born out of necessity. As you're aware, mostly, not recently, but mostly, the Sindh Pakistan People's Party's government has been in opposition to the federal government. In 2013, we were in opposition at the national level, but in government in the province of Sindh. In 2018, we were in opposition at the national level, and we were in government in the province of Sindh. And all our media friends over here will be well aware that we'd have a consistent complaint about the receipts, or the provincial funding for the province of Sindh, and sort of the lack of support that we were receiving from the federal government in the form of PSDP projects. We had the least out of any other province, and as a result, and our specific sort of federal transfers. But we didn't just sort of sit back and accept our fate, or I didn't just complain about it. What the Pakistan People's Party did was heavily lean into and leverage public-private partnership within our province. The public-private partnership concept was introduced in Pakistan through Shaheed Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto's 92-93 election manifesto. And in 2008, when the PPP government was formed, we set up our PPP unit in the province of Sindh. Probably the most famous and large-scale PPP project in the province of Sindh is our Sindh Angro coal mining company, which was the first open pit mining, and it was conducted through public-private partnership. And this has really opened the doors for an economic revolution in the province of Thar. Because the Sindh government was partners with the private sector, both internationally and locally, for the coal mining, and we had this energy generation also as a result of the coal mining. We've turned around the infrastructure, both roads and health, education. The desert has completely changed as a result of these interventions. The big-scale Sindh Angro coal mining project, which has a project cost of $1 billion and is a joint venture between the GOS, local and international partners. Jobs I'm going to come on to. We were the first government to set up, first provincial government to make an airport, the Mai Bakhtaur Airport in Thar. A resettlement of communities that were affected by the pit mining in model villages. Road infrastructure in Thar has improved to the extent that in 2008, or before 2008, from Karachi to Thar, the drive used to be 8 hours. Today, the drive from Karachi to Thar, depending on how fast you drive, is 4 to 3 hours. A percentage of our profit of this public-private partnership company goes into the Thar Foundation. And the Thar Foundation then helps in our community uplift initiatives, one of which is our Thar Foundation Hospital that has been established in the district of Thar, and the Thar Foundation Hospital is run by Dr. Bari's Indus Foundation. Private partnership. Just yesterday, I came from our NED University inauguration. We're inaugurating our campus for a new building for our campus of the NED University. We set up our RO plants infrastructures that still needs a lot of work to address the water scarcity over there. Just Thar Coal Block 1 has created Block 2 has created 3,000, it says here, but I had 5,000 in my head, 3,000 jobs locally. The more important part is those jobs, 71% of the jobs as a result of this public-private partnership are directly Thari local jobs. An additional 10% above that are jobs from the province of Sindh. Then we have like close to 5%, which is rest of Pakistan, and then even less, which is our international sort of jobs as a result. We've had, as a result of this PPP initiative, we have female truck drivers in Thar for the first time. So all our trucks that are driven by local women. We had the first female engineer come out of Thar and then be employed at this PPP initiative. So cornerstone of Sindh's public-private partnership, but it's not the only thing we do. We have our water supply project of $200 million, which is a PPP mode, which is in partnership with Energy Tech from Kuwait. As a result of that initiative, we're now working on our NED technology part, again in partnership with the government of Kuwait. And we have a whole host of partners that are working with the Sindh government, locally and internationally, in public-private partnership. Sorry. These are some of our public-private partnership initiatives. Our Hyderabad Mirpur Khas dual carriageway is completely public-private partnership. I mentioned the largest bridge on the river Indus, the Sir Aga Khan Jirk Mulakatiyar bridge project. Our Karachi Thatta dual carriageway, public-private partnership. Water infrastructure, I've already mentioned, public-private partnership. Roads infrastructure we've also had as a result of public-private partnership, but it doesn't stop there. Education management, I've already mentioned. Management of many schools we've handed over in public-private partnership for primary education. Again, the same Shehzad Roy helps us with teacher training initiatives in public-private partnership that has increased the standard of our teachers, who are now tested and regularly ensure that they meet the necessary standards. We've also facilitated 54 JICA girls elementary schools as a result in public-private partnership, and our regional bud centers are also public-private partnership initiatives. Our public-private partnership program in the province of Sindh is recognized globally. In 2018, the Economist magazine's intelligence unit rated Sindh province as number 6th for public-private partnership, after Thailand, Philippines, PCR, India, Gujarat, then the province of Sindh for our PPP mode, and most recently we've had these IFS, that's all 2021, for public-private partnership. Major projects that are now under construction in PPP mode, I mentioned Ashare Bhutto, Kankot, the 5th bridge that we're now building on the river Indus, the Ghotki-Kankot Bridge is public-private partnership, Marble City project, public-private partnership, Dhabaji I already mentioned, NED I already mentioned, okay, I'm mentioning things twice now. Major projects that are at the feasibility stage for PPP mode are before you. Our Yellow Line, our Sakhar and Hyderabad Industrial Zone, our sewage treatment plant for Karachi, our aquaculture park project, there's a livestock project, there's more water sector projects in Sakhar, all in our feasibility stage for public-private partnership. Through public-private partnership, not only have we produced the first electricity through the Tharparkar, done our infrastructure, done our schools, done our healthcare, we've even reclaimed the mangroves. So we had incredible mangrove loss across the Indus Delta, which has devastating consequences for local agriculture, local communities, climate, etc. And through public-private partnership, we've increased our covered area from 270,000 mangroves to 270,000 acres, sorry, to now 675,000 acres of mangrove covers. 2 Guinness Book of World Records for this mangrove initiative, for the largest number of mangroves planted in a day. So we first won in 2000 and I forget the dates now. So we first won 1 Guinness Book of World Record for the largest number of mangroves planted in a day. Then India won, so we couldn't let that stand, and we went and did it again. So that's why we have 2 Guinness Book of World Records. And we've earned $40 million as a result of carbon credits from planting mangroves. So in our PPP mode, our portfolio so far, we've executed about $600 million worth of projects in road, energy, healthcare sectors. Our projects under construction is another $650 million. But the main figure that I want to point to here is our investable portfolio, our investable project portfolio for the province of Sindh is $5.2 billion, and we're very keen to work with the international community and a local business community, just as we realized all these other public-private partnership initiatives to bring these other projects into, to realize all these other projects. And I'd like to use this opportunity today to invite you all to come take advantage of our special economic zones, of our experience in public-private partnership, to benefit within the province of Sindh. And even our advice to the federal government would be that if you want to cut down on the PSDP, you want to cut down on public spending, a large segment of the federal PSDP should be shifted to public-private partnership, where you can partner with the private, with the business community within Pakistan, you can partner with the international community to address your fiscal space issues without burdening others. Final point, and I swear I'm going to feed you something. Sindh Revenue Board. Sounds dull, but it's very important. Because how are we going to provide free healthcare, free education, improve our infrastructure at all the facilities that I showed you today without the funding? Key is revenue. The Sindh government set up the Sindh Revenue Board, I believe, in 2012. As a result of the 18th Amendment, the sales tax on services were devolved to the provinces, and we set up the Sindh Revenue Board to help collect this tax. The last time this tax was with the federal government was in 2011, and they collected 16 billion rupees in 2010. That's from the province of Sindh, the sales tax on services that the FBR collected the last time they had this responsibility. In 2011, within 1 year, the government of Sindh Revenue Board collected 28 billion rupees, which was a 68% increase from the federal government's collection. And today, 2024, the Sindh government's Sindh Revenue Board has collected 307 billion rupees in sales tax on services. The federal government's FBR's growth rate every year is 10%. Our SBR's growth rate is an average of 19%. It's economic competence. Without self-sufficiency, we can't promise to provide any of the support that I discussed in the lead up to this slide. And this is exactly our case to the federal government. That if we're collecting 19% and you're collecting 10%, then how can you punish the guys who are actually doing their jobs? We offer, as an obviously if the federal government is facing issues of fiscal base, economic challenges, as a patriotic Pakistani, the problems of Islamabad are my problems as well. I want to help them address these issues. But their solution, cutting the NFC share, taking back from the provinces, doesn't solve the problem. Because it's the FBR's lack of meeting their targets that's causing this fiscal deficit, not the performance of. And we have a solution. I've shown you that when you devolved the sales tax on services, Sindh government's SBR outperforms all the provinces and the federal government. But the FBR is outperformed by the Punjab Revenue Board, by the Pakhtunkhwa Revenue Board, and the Balochistan Revenue Board. So why should Balochistan, Punjab, or KPK suffer if Islamabad can't do its job? Our proposal is the government still collects the sales tax on goods, and not according to my reports. According to independent observers, there's 3 trillion rupees more that they could collect in the sales tax on goods today from across Pakistan that they're not collecting. So our solution to the federal government's challenges with fiscal space that we want to solve is that devolve the tax to us, but devolve the collection of the tax to us. We will collect this tax for the federal government. They can set us the targets. Like their last collection for sales tax on services was 16, so whatever their last collection from Karachi today is, set that as a target for the Sindh government. Whatever their last collection for the sales tax on goods for the city of Lahore is set that as a target for the Punjab government. And we will collect these taxes for you. We will collect higher taxes for you and give to you so you can meet your fiscal needs, address your fiscal gap. Level we're going to. If we fail to meet your targets, then punish me. Then deduct from my provincial pool to make up for the gap in the tax that I failed to collect for you. I or any other province collects more in the form of sales tax on goods than your federally assigned target. Extra money should go as an incentive to those provincial governments, so they're further encouraged to increase generation, fund our own projects, and meet the needs of our citizens. I thank you all very much today for putting up with my very detailed conversation, and I hope that I've managed to convince, or at least put across a case for you today, that the province of Sindh is a half glass full, not a half glass empty. And we would like to work with everyone in this room today and the federal government to achieve not only our goals, but also address the challenges faced by the federal government and the people of Pakistan. Thank you.
और आपने इस वक्त मुलाहजा किया कि सिंध हुकूमत की कारकर्दगी और आइंदा के लाहेअमल के हवाले से तकरीब जारी थी और बिलावल भुट्टो चेयरमैन पीपल्स पार्टी ने सिंध हुकूमत की कारकर्दगी और आइंदा के लाहेअमल के हवाले से एक इंतहाई डिटेल्ड ब्रीफिंग दी है यहाँ पर शुरका को, और एक बड़ी तादाद में यहाँ पर शुरका जो है वो मौजूद हैं मुख्तलिफ फील्ड से, और इस हवाले से सेहत के हवाले से, तालीम के हवाले से, सड़कों की तामीर और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के हवाले से, पानी के हवाले से, मौसम के हवाले से, इकॉनमी के हवाले से, एनर्जी के हवाले से जो है वो मुख्तलिफ प्रोजेक्ट्स, उनकी कंप्लीशन और उनके बारे में सिंध हुकूमत की प्लानिंग के हवाले से तफसीली तौर पर बताया गया। खबरें और भी हैं, लेकिन इस ब्रेक के बाद।
राबिया का बेस्ट फ्रेंड, उसका कैमरा।
वाव!
और कितना खींचोगी?
अम्मी, दुनिया को पाकिस्तान की अलग तस्वीर दिखानी है, उसकी खूबसूरती की। जब तक दिखाऊंगी नहीं, रुकूंगी नहीं।
मैं इसके ख्वाबों के बीच किसी को नहीं आने दूंगी, जरासीम को भी नहीं। इसीलिए लाइफ बॉय।
बड़े ख्वाबों को दें लाइफ बॉय की बड़ी हिफाजत, जो दे जरासीम से 100% यकीनी हिफाजत।
अम्मी, मेरी पाकिस्तान की तस्वीर जीत गई।
Introducing Piper's Gold, thoughtfully yours.
गुलाब और संदल के खालिस